2015 NFL preview. I am Dustin Peters. Here's Hayden Matthews
And
Thomas McCurry. Today we're going to be talking about the top 3 best player position in the NFL. Why don't you go first with the quarterback?
My top 3 quarterbacks. Number 1 is Andrew Luck. I think he's going to have an awesome season like he did last year, except better. Aaron Rodgers, which is just no surprise because he's Aaron Rodgers. And then my sleeper QB is Ryan Tannehill. I believe he's going to have a breakout season with new rookie Devontae Parker. You can expect him to have a really good season. What do you think?
I'd say number 1, Aaron Rodgers. He's experienced. He's got some of the best receivers, Jordy Nelson. I think he'll tear up the NFC North again, especially the Bears defense. And next, I say Andrew Luck. He had a solid season last year, and he can lead his team this year pretty far in the playoffs. My 3rd is Ben Roethlisberger. He had a breakout season last year. He had a lot of yards. He's got Antonio Brown, who had an amazing season last season. My sleeper quarterback, Blake Bortles, Jacksonville, second-year quarterback. And last year, he had an okay season, but it was tough because he didn't have very good wide receivers. Now he's got Julius Thomas, one of the best tight ends in the league, and he can throw to him all day. Blake Bortles will be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, I think.
I like those. Now to the running backs.
Thomas, want to start?
Okay, sure. I'd say number 1, Marshawn Lynch. I mean, he's amazing. The Seahawks are just going to keep using him, and he'll be a bruising back, and he'll probably lead the league in yards. Le'Veon Bell will lead Steelers' high-powered offense, and they can get farther than they did last year, and hopefully actually win a few playoff games. Matt Forte, he's going to be leaned on this season again, like he always has been. He's very reliable, and with Kevin White joining Alshon Jeffrey, the Bears have amazing wide receivers, and that will take everybody's eyes off Matt Forte, and then Forte can break out huge runs. And then my sleeper is C.J. Anderson. He had a great season last year. I think he'll have another great season with Peyton Manning deteriorating. The Broncos are going to need their running game more than ever.
Right. My number 1 back is Le'Veon Bell. He had a breakout season last year, and I think he's going to have another phenomenal one in Pittsburgh. My number 2 back is Eddie Lacy. He got hurt a couple of times last year. I think that if he stays healthy, he can be a really good back. My number 3 back is, as Thomas said, would be Marshawn Lynch, because he just tears up defenses. It's almost impossible to stop him. Then my sleeper is rookie Melvin Gordon III. I think that he can have a really, really good season. Yeah.
Okay, those both sounded accurate. Now wide receivers. Hayden, you first.
My number 1 wide receiver is Demaryius Thomas. Peyton Manning is just so good. He might be getting old, but he's still got phenomenal core. They might have lost Julius Thomas, but he still has Demaryius Thomas, and Demaryius is pretty good. Then you have Calvin Johnson or Megatron. He's just phenomenal. It doesn't matter. If Matthew Stafford, all he's got to do is just throw it near him and he'll catch it. My sleeper is Devontae Parker. That's 2 Dolphins. Especially if Ryan Tannehill has the breakout season like I think he will. I think that Devontae Parker will be a huge part of that.
Okay, I'd say Calvin Johnson number 1 again. He's got Golden Tate to help him out now, keep defenses a little off him. If he's double teamed, they'll throw to Golden Tate, and they'll have to pay more attention to Golden Tate. And Calvin Johnson will have another great season like he always has, with Matthew Stafford throwing to him. Then I say Jordy Nelson. Aaron Rodgers better than ever, and Jordy Nelson is playing very well as his wide receiver. And then Antonio Brown, he had a great season last year. He got 5 receptions and 50 yards in almost every game, and I think he'll keep improving with Ben Roethlisberger as his quarterback. My sleeper is Kelvin Benjamin of Carolina. I think this year, he's already had a year to become acclimated with Cam Newton, and he'll do even better this year.
All right, now we'll go right over to the tight end. Can you start?
Yeah. So with pretty much the consensus two best tight ends in the league, Gronkowski and Jimmy Graham, are gonna have tough starts to the season with new team and quarterback suspension. I'd say Julius Thomas as my best tight end. He'll be new with Jacksonville, but I'm pretty sure he'll get along very well with Blake Bortles. And if Blake Bortles has a breakout season, Julius Thomas will also do very well. Then I have Gronkowski. After the 4-game suspension for Tom Brady, then he should come back strong, and you gotta hope Tom Brady's doing well. And then Jimmy Graham, he'll have a new team, Seahawks, with a bigger running attack. So I think he'll fit in well with the Seahawks. And my sleeper is Eric Ebron for the Detroit Lions. Now, with two of the best wide receivers in the league, Golden Tate and Calvin Johnson, Eric Ebron will get a lot of passes also.
My number one is Jimmy Graham. I think that he's got an amazing quarterback in Russell Wilson. He'll be targeted a lot in the red zone, and it just takes a lot of pressure off of Marshawn Lynch. Number two is Rob Gronkowski. He's going to get a ton of targets with Jimmy Garoppolo, and then when Tom Brady comes back, that chemistry is awesome. He's going to be unstoppable. Then my sleeper is Max Williams, the 2X tight end from Baltimore. He got drafted this year with Baltimore, and I think that he's going to get a lot of targets from Joe Flacco.
I agree. Now to the defense.
My number one defense is the Buffalo Bills. I think that they just have an overall great defense. And now with Rex Ryan in there, I think it's going to be even better. My number two is the Seahawks because, well, they're the Seahawks defense. And then my sleeper is the Jets. They just picked up a ton of players on D, and I expect them to have a really, really good defensive season. What do you think?
I'd say number one, the Seahawks once again. Even though they lost Byron Maxwell, they still have some of the best defenders in the league, Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, and their whole secondary, Earl Thomas. And then the Dolphins, since Ndamukong Suh is pairing up with Cameron Wake, they'll be a dynamic duo, and they'll sack the quarterback a lot. Then I'd say the Cardinals, they were a very good defense last season, and they'll have a lot of pieces back from injury. So I think they'll be very good. And then the Texans are my sleeper defense. Now with Jadeveon Clowney, hopefully he's back from his injuries. He can play very well and help out with J.J. Watt, and they'll match the Dolphins with their sacking potential.
Yeah, I missed on the Dolphins. It's a really good call.
Okay, now we're just going to go to playoff predictions. So we're going to start with the NFC, AFC, and then straight to Super Bowl.
Okay. In the NFC, I see the Cardinals beating the Seahawks and the Packers just doing what they do. Arizona Packers, or the Cardinals Packers is your NFC championship, and then your AFC championship is the Bengals. I think Andy Dalton's going to have a good season, and then the Colts, especially with the Patriots. Tom Brady was for the first 4 games. That'll be trouble. And then to the Super Bowl, Packers-Colts is your Super Bowl, and I think that the Colts will beat the Packers and be the Super Bowl champions. I believe in Andrew Luck. What do you think?
Okay, I think the Packers will win the NFC this year with a new scheme. Jimmy Graham coming in, the Seahawks aren't used to him, so they'll have trouble. I think the Packers can beat them like they almost did last year. Then the Cardinals should do better than last year with their defense back, and they can make it to the NFC Championship. And then I think the Steelers will win the AFC. They have amazing offense, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, and Ben Roethlisberger. Their defense is solid. And then the Dolphins are going to be your sleeper in the AFC. Their defense can wreak havoc now, and they have Ryan Tannehill is poised for a good season, and they have Devontae Parker now, and they'll be very good. And then my champion, I think the Packers will beat the Steelers.
Yeah.
Okay, so-
me and Thomas did a little extra thing where we added in playoff sleepers. He said his was the Dolphins. I think I agree with the Dolphins, except I'm gonna go with the Falcons just to be different. I think the Falcons are gonna have a good season.
Okay, well, that will conclude our top three positions and players. So, thank you.